All right, all you freedom loving boys and girls. Hey, Mark Centerline Systems. Gonna do a padded strap wrap video. I did a little intro thing there, kind of messing around with the software. We'll see if that gets me in trouble with ScrewTube. I don't know, just having fun. It's the end of the day. It's Saturday, the 23rd of November. It's like 17:15. Just kind of wrapping up the day. As a matter of fact, hopefully you guys are nursing your hangover from the CLS after dark last night. Thanks to everybody who watched, live or on demand. Huge shout out to Clint from Nemesis Camo for coming on. It's always great talking to that, awesome individual. Hey, I wanted to do this padded strap wrap video. Give me a sec. I'm wrapping up the day. I can have a glass of wine. Hey, I wanted to do a padded strap wrap video because they're back on the website now. So I was able to get from the previous company. They took pity on poor little me. I got some material from them. So they're back up on the custom side. And we had already factored in. So next week is Thanksgiving. We had already factored in. So it's a shorter week that we're going to use the beginning of that for getting some of our next business day items back up inventory wise. So, there's just, more stuff for Christmas, even those last minute shoppers, because I don't want you yelling at me this year. So we're going to have some padded strap wraps. They're up on the custom side right now, but we're going to also have some more available over on the next business day. So I wanted to do the padded strap wrap. Oh, and then on that note, so because next week is Christmas Thursday, that's normally our loadout lives or just our live stream for Centerline Systems. We're not going to do it. It's Thanksgiving. Obviously, I hope you're with friends and family and just, eating good turkey, getting that good tryptophan sleep. But the Thursday after that, we'll be back over on the Loadout Live. And Mark, a.k.a. Valley Reb, great guy, great American, great human being, takes great pictures. Follow him over on Instagram, Valley Reb. But we're going to do the padded strap wrap and the mother as a loadout. So just to kind of get your juices going and your thoughts and creativity, I'm going to do not a loadout video, but I'm just going to talk about the padded strap wraps. Remind you, it's way more than just a pad. Matter of fact, here, we'll just jump right into it right there. So when I first made them, I think it was like 6 years ago, because I had a lot of people asking me to make a pad. Now, here we go, shoulder strap. Now, this is just a regular shoulder strap. So, depending on what you have in the mother canteen carrier, and if you throw a G3 on the bottom, yeah, that can be a little bit of weight that you're carrying around, right? Now, at first, I didn't want to do it because all the pads that were out there, they just always slide all over the place and they're annoying. So, at first I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. You can make your own field improvise, take a towel, take a old t-shirt, wrap it around. There's different techniques for doing it. I've done that plenty of time on rifle slings in the past. And, before all the cool guy stuff came out, I'm like, yeah, you can just do something like that. But then, I had enough people asking. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do it, I want it to lock in place. And so I should get back to this. I'm wearing my orange 4 Food Groups hoodie. So hopefully this shows up. So here's one of these are reducers. It goes, so this is the 1.5 inch webbing. So it's 1.5 inch down to the 1 inch reducer. And then that's on the opposite side there. Can you see that a little better? There you go. Or maybe my gray beard, it shows up right there. But so the padded strap wrap fits perfectly in between these reducers. So it doesn't slide around. And depending then on how it's worn or how big you are, where it's worn, you always have padding up on your shoulder. But the other thing about the padded strap wrap is, I didn't want it to just be a pad. You know me, I like utilitarian. I like multifaceted, multifunctional pieces of gear. And my plate carrier came to mind. So I've got a really good, it's super old, but handcrafted American company. I hope they're still in business. I don't know. I'm not going to say their name. I don't have their permission. But on the straps on my plate carrier, those opened up because that's where, your radio, maybe your comms or antenna cables, depending on what you're doing, you wanted to have a channel. And like you see a bunch of them where they have on the outside, they've got Velcro, and then like think of your drinking tube from a Camelback. Well, I didn't like that because again, just think about that's just one more thing that's on the outside that can get snagged up in the bush or, your risers if you're jumping, all that kind of crap. So padded strap wrap. So I wanted to kind of make it where it was a self-contained compartment. And then that compartment allows you to put other things in there. And so again, when we do the loadout video, we'll do greater detail. I just want to show off a handful of things, just kind of get your juices going. By the way, this is an ATAX FGX. About a month ago, somebody reached out to me and was talking about something completely different. And we don't use the FGX anymore, but they had some products in FGX. Hey, sir, I don't remember who you are. I asked you to send me an email. This guy is yours. If you just send me an email. But in the meantime, it's just been sitting on a table and I'm like, damn it, who was the gentleman who wanted this thing? So I'm going to use it as a prop here tonight. So there's loops on the outside, and then you can get it with the elastic shotgun shell loops like you see on my shoulder strap. You know, those are the custom options. Over on the Next Business Day, it's just 1 inch looped webbing on the outside. Now, you can't really quite see it as nicely on that FGX because it kind of blends in, but that's what these loops are on the outside. But this opens up to accommodate the shoulder strap. As I said, it fits in between the reducers, but you can also shove other items up there. And I just have a little stupid example. Like this could have been over your shoulder. You know, I always have the fold next to your neck and then the opening away from your body. Just one less thing to chafe or rub against you. But by putting stuff in here, and maybe we'll do this with Valley Rep, but I have a video out there where I have a whole bunch of cordage in here and I show you how you could just have it all pre-wrapped, pre-S-rolled, and then you could walk up to a tree, hook one end, walk to the other tree. It deploys out behind you. Same thing with the G3. And then there's your ridge line. But right in here right now, I just, giving you an example, boom. And then there's my whistle and I wouldn't lose it. It's secured. It's survival, emergency signal, scaring off a bear, Sasquatch, whatever the case is, right? So that's just one way to do it. We'll do more of that in the load up video, and I'm going to show you some gear. But the other thing I wanted just to mention about those loops. Now, this is my hunting rig, and I'm so sad. It's bow season right now. I think the high today, well, when I looked, it was 30 degrees at 1 o'clock. It's a nice cold day. Deer are definitely moving. I had to go run a quick errand about an hour and a half ago. And I saw all kinds of guys who were clearly out bow hunting. And I was just jealous as hell. I'm not quite there yet, but this is one of my rigs. And so this is a Y harness. I just have 2 padded strap wraps on the Y harness. But I wanted to show off is because of those loops, I just put a chasm buckle here. And then I made a single point sling for my not my bow, excuse me, my because I was able to use a I can't think of it all of a sudden. Why am I having a brain fart? Well, because it's not my bag, but I had a crossbow. That's why I just couldn't think of it. I had to think of like The Witcher to think of a crossbow. So I had a crossbow. I was able to hunt with a crossbow, but then I could single sling or single point my crossbow right into here so I could be hands-free. Just one other way that you can use those loops. And then you can see I've got just a nice legume, a knife on the outside. Now I've got it set up this way because I didn't want this portion, the ferrule rod into my body, rubbing against me. It's kind of backwards, but there, and I've got a nice knife, so because you should always have a knife, so that's just some other ways that you can use it and attach things to it. And now here's where I'm just going to breeze by things because we're at 8 minutes and I just kind of want to go kind of quickly. So, we'll do this in the loadout video. Here's just a chem light with this is Black Scout Survival. It's a Fox 40 whistle. These things are super loud. So if you just wanted to have some emergency signal, you could have that guy up inside of there, a couple different ways, and it'll store in there. This is just like an emergency kit I had made. I made this in 2014, boys and girls. Look at that. December 2014. Yeah. So it's just a lighter, some chapstick, a small little emergency light, and some matches. But that could be up inside of there, right? And you just take advantage of that space. Other little items. So here's just something out of one of my kits. It's an emergency compass, a little striker, and then like an emergency Leatherman. This is the micro, what do they call this? The squirt. Right. So I could have those guys inside of there. I'm just trying to get your juices going. We'll do more during the loadout video. Back to the emergency signal. Even with almost everything I've shown, just have a piece of VS17 panel. Now, this is a civilian VS17 panel. It's sill nylon. It's a little bit lighter, not quite as durable, honestly, as the military material, but you get the point. And it's got a robin's, well, it's not really a robin's egg. It's got a blue side and a orange side. Sometimes the blue is a good signal. But what's nice about this is it's very thin. So you could fold this up and have this inside of the pad. That would fit. Here's some Dyneema. Now this, I personally probably wouldn't unspool and wrap up because Dyneema, very dynamic, very good thread. But that's just an option. You could have some Dyneema up inside there. On the outside, you know, depending, you could always rig this up on the outside. So you always had trail marker, you know, an ability to flag a trail or something that you wanted. Or you could unspool a whole bunch of this and just stuff it up on the inside as well. Back to the outside, here's some emergency signaling devices. Now, the loops run like, you know, they run the length of the padded strap wrap. I used to give away these slick, I think they're called slick clips. You might not be able to see it, but it allows you then to mount, you know, so here's the loop running like this. Now this guy runs perpendicular, so you can mount things in there. Most people didn't understand or appreciate, you know, I used to just give those away, you know, but that's not cheap. I mean, that's like, you know, a 1 per or 2 per shoulder strap. That's $1. And that adds up over time. And if people didn't appreciate it or get it, but what I'm just getting at is so you can get those on your own. But items like this guy can clip onto that and now could be resting on the outside. Now, this is an emergency signal. I'll show this guy off when we do the loadout. Here's another little version. This is a Pelican, right? And this is a red lens. So this one isn't super dynamic for emergency signal. I actually had this for back in the day because under nods, it's not very bright to the naked eye as an emergency signal, but under nods, this thing is like a beacon, right? Just because of nods. So good things right there. Here's a filtration straw. Now here's the other part of the straw, right? So here's the filter. Now this wouldn't fit up inside there. It's what she said, but you would put this in maybe a pouch or something like that. But the straw itself could easily fit up inside of the padded strap wrap, just freeing up more space inside of whatever that other item is. Medical gloves. I mean, you could put a complete boo-boo kit up there. Just think a bunch of Band-Aids, you know, nothing too crazy. You're not going to put like, you know, an Israeli bandage or anything like that up inside there, you know, or even like a regular field bandage, right? You know, field dressing, but all your other gauze or, you know, boo-boos, little Band-Aids, you know, gloves, you could fit all that inside of there. This is going to be, I'm not going to pull this apart, but here's a small fire kit. So here's a really small lighter. Here's just some plastic I cut off of an inner tube because plastic is a great fire starter and it burns for a long time. And then here is a whole bunch of cotton swabs, cotton balls dunked in Vaseline. So you could easily have an emergency fire starting kit. All of these items could fit up inside of the padded strap wrap. And then there it is. I mean, so, well, to include even some fat wood. Now, this is going to be solid, so you probably wouldn't want it up on the curve. But, you know, in the flat areas of the pad, you could easily get some fat wood in there. So now you'd have a pretty robust, even just emergency fire kit just inside of your padded strap wrap, if that's how you wanted to do it. Lickies and Chewies. Here's just a little bag with a bunch of like lifesavers, and that's some bullion cubes. And, you know, again, do a way better job, vacuum seal it, fold it up. That would fit up inside of there. And then there you've got emergency Lickies and Chewies. I had to say Lickies and Chewies and get that into the video someplace. Same thing. I'm not saying put this in there, but these are very robust survival matches, and you could easily get those on the ends, you know, and secure those in there, put them in a plastic bag. You know, matter of fact, maybe even just vacuum seal it and have your striker, you know, and then a match or two, vacuum seal it and put that inside there. So again, more emergency fire if you wanted, you know, and if you did that, you know, add some cotton swabs, you know, dunked in Vaseline or whatever your combustible material will be. So you could turn it into, you know, even just a pretty robust, you know, fire starting kit. And then I got this out. I'll show this off next time. So again, imagine a ridge line. Well, here's the other one too. And I found this. This was in my props drawer. This is how much webbing or 550 cord I've fit in there before. So this might not look like a whole lot, but I just roughly calculated that this is about 15 inches wide and there's 12 wraps. So 12 times 15, what is that? 180 divided by 12 again, you know, which brings us back down. This is 15 feet of cordage with still the guts inside of there, right? So that's a lot of cordage. I would S roll this differently. You know, this I just have set up as like a mountain coil, but I would S roll this a little differently. And that's what I'm saying in the live stream. If we can do it, maybe I'll rig something up where I can have the padded strap wrap. You know, again, whether you're doing a jam knot or whatever, just come up to something, you'd wrap your end around it, walk over to the other tree, draw it tight, jam knot, you know, whatever you're doing, boom, boom, boom. And there's a ridge line or a drawing line or whatever you're doing. So, all right, I think that's going to cover it. I went a little bit longer than I was intending, and only because it's Saturday, and I kind of want to call it quits. It's done at 17:30. Here's a little cheers. All right, let's see if what you guys tell me in the comments what you think about the little opening intro video. I can do that on the outros now too. I just found this little section. So I don't know. I might put something together. We're having intro video and outro video, or maybe just the video of me and my bright shining face and super shiny bald head is more than enough. And you don't want to see any other fluff. To the gentleman who called it fluff. That's just, I love it. I'm not picking on you, seriously. I love it. I'm just going to call that stuff fluff from here on out. But all right, that's our padded strap wrap. Join us. Here I'm talking ain't doing. What is that? That's going to be the, I think that's the 4th. No, the 5th. So the 5th of December, that's when Valley Rebel join us on the Thursday night, the Loadout Live on the 5th. And we'll go over the Mother Canteen Carrier and the padded strap wrap as a loadout and just give you guys hopefully a bunch of more ideas, hear what your ideas are, and just share information. So until then, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll have a few more videos next week. I got at least 2 more videos I'll do during the Thanksgiving. No Thursday night, no Loadout Live on Thursday. That's Thanksgiving. However, we will do CLS After Dark on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and that's going to be with our dear friend Patrick. I just like calling him P. Rick. Matter of fact, I'll just give you guys a little heads up. So you might want to start boning up a little bit on your pop culture. P. Rick, Patrick. I shortened it to P. Rick. P. Rick makes me think of Pickle Rick, which is Rick and Morty, and probably one of the best Rick and Morty episodes. So there might be a giveaway, might not. I'm just kind of throwing some things out there. You might want to just, think a little Futurama and Rick and Morty somewhere in the near future. So, all right, that's it. You can tell I'm just having fun rambling again here at the end. Have a great weekend. I hope you're out there crushing it. If you got questions, comments, reach out anytime. Don't forget, hoodies are up on the website. I guess I'll throw that in there because Steven, a.k.a. Blackbeard, and we forgot to mention that. We haven't sold a ton. It just is what it is. So we decided we're going to extend this until the end of the year because all the proceeds, all the profits, from these, and we're not really selling them at profit, but whatever that small amount is, all that's going to go to either to Samaritan's Purse or the GoFundMe set up by President-elect Trump to aid in the Hurricane Helene victims, which, no one's talking about. And that stuff is still a clusterfuck down there, period. So we're going to extend that until the end of the year on the hoodies. Because right now it'd be like giving $40. And we want to give a little bit more. So maybe think about it as a Christmas gift for your loved one. They're really awesome. And the proceeds go to charity. But if you got questions, comments, you know the deal. Reach out. I'll do the best I can to help you out. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your week and get out there, crush it. And you know the deal. Keep thinking, keep moving, never quit. We'll see you guys again soon. All right, everybody, be good. Woo!